Okay, I'm back. Had to answer my door. It comes through my cell phone. Buzz somebody in. So heading into Endgame, I guess really I am just gonna give some thoughts on the movie. I'll just do that because I'm gonna run out of time to actually, it's getting so close now. The thought that I may get a video in where I can just talk about Endgame before Endgame comes out, like I did last year with Infinity War. Did that with my daughter on my other channel, Daddy Daughter Reviews. Some of you may know there was some leaks came out yesterday. So let me start right there. And I happen to be a person who came across some of those. And let me just say, it's disappointing. It's bummed me out, but in a way, it's like I'm trying to see the bright side, and it's like it could have been worse. The stuff I saw, most of it is not that big of a deal in terms of like, okay, well, yeah, I kind of like the end result. I saw it coming, but you don't want to know the details of how you get to. And let's just, for example, my theory, once Infinity War ended and we saw who survived from Infinity War, has always been that Captain America and Iron Man will somehow cease to continue in the movies, right? So again, I don't know that this would be considered a spoiler. If you feel like it is, then don't finish watching this comment or fast forward or something. But this comes from being that I am an MCU nerd, so to the point where I know things about contracts of actors and what movies are in development, and now the Disney Plus service is going to have some shows in development. So I follow the MCU religiously, passionately, period. So that's why, and this is the stuff that is available to most people, so it's kind of only a spoiler to you if you just are, I'm not gonna say casual, but maybe you're a fan, but you're not a nerd about your fandom like I am. So Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo, as far as I know, those four dudes right there, has been reported several times that their deals are completed when Endgame is done. There's been numerous articles out there, so I'm not spoiling anything. So that's my point. That's why, in my opinion, all four of those characters are going to cease to, I'm not going to say cease to exist, but they will have a hiatus. Something's going to stop them from being expected to be seen in any movies in the near future. How about that? That's a great way of putting it. After Endgame, don't expect to see those four in any movies for a while. And there's going to be some reason. It's going to be something that's got to happen that would set that in motion. I also believe these dudes probably will be back at some point with, renegotiate contracts such and such, especially bringing in the Fox properties, movie properties. I mean, they're still Marvel, but yeah, the X-Men and Fantastic Four. So my point is, I saw some things that hinted at some of that kind of stuff happening in the movie. Let's leave it at that. And again, particularly in regards to this guy who, after Infinity War and the kind of disappointment I had, even though I got over it in the way the Hulk played out in that movie, first of all, that already, like, the flip side of that, bright side of that was, I said, well, look, he's gonna have an epic movie for Avengers 4, which is now called Endgame. At that time we didn't know. So that was my, saving grace, comfort in feeling like we'll get the redemption and a payoff in Endgame, but still knowing in my mind that just something these characters probably can't keep going contractually. I mean, they're just, not that they can't, but they're not, because of the contract. So that being said, um, that was one of the things I ran across. Something that hints at something with the Hulk, and I just wish I wouldn't have seen that. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, honestly, what I heard. I'm just saying I wouldn't have wanted to read that. I wanted to see it, because you really haven't seen no hint at him at all. They've been genius in their marketing and promotion. He hasn't, Banner's been featured. We haven't seen the Hulk in anything so far in regards to Endgame. Now, if you follow toy, the toys that come out for these movies, promotional art that's going to end up on cereal boxes and things like that, and backpacks and things, and folders and school notebooks, then there have been pictures that indicate certain things about what we can expect from the Hulk. But again, those are just visual. They don't really tell you anything. I mean, they do, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? If anything, they're the kind of things that are like, oh, okay, if they're going to go there, I can't wait to see how they do it. Those are things I don't mind. But again, when you're literally being told how something happens, that's spoiler, and that's something that I ran across and read. Something that happens with the Hulk, and I didn't want to see that. Same with Captain America, same with, not really with Iron Man, but more so with Captain America. Nothing about Thor, though, so that's all. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So the fact that I saw that stuff, and I saw some things about a few other characters, actually like the next day, or no, later, because this was all yesterday. Later on that night, again, in another discussion. One was on a YouTube channel I follow. It's called Comic Book Cast. In the guy's video who does the channel, he was doing a video about Deadpool being in the MCU and interacting with MCU characters, like some kind of confirmation, which I totally disagreed with what he was saying and his basis for it. And that's what happened. I went into the comment section to say, for the record, from my opinion, I don't see that happening. He's a rated R property. I don't see him being in no movies with any of the current MCU characters. He's going to probably be, doing his own thing, really. I don't know who he will interact with, but I don't know that it's going to be anybody from the current MCU. I just don't see it. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but that's not the interpretation I get from when Marvel or Disney president said, we're going to keep making Deadpool movies. He will exist. He's going to have R rating. He's going to maintain all that. I didn't take that as he's going to be in the MCU with an R rating. See, MCU is MCU. Now that they own the fire, they can do whatever they want. They don't have to cross them over. But I think they will cross over the X-Men and Fantastic Four. I just think Deadpool's going to continue to do his own thing. That's my opinion. That's how I'd rather see it, honestly. I mean, I'm not going to go into all that. So it was that was the topic of the video. I go into the comment section to talk about how I disagree with that and why I feel that way. And I'm scrolling to read other people's comments, not even expecting that somebody randomly, and the person's name was DC something, and they had a Shazam, I think it was either DC or a Shazam, logo as their profile pic. So I don't know if they're just trolling, because there are lots of people that comment in these things about Marvel who are bigger DC fans, because it's kind of like we're all supposed to be a community, fans of both companies, studios, whatever you want to call them. But in the end, it probably was somebody who's a freaking hater and a troll who's mad at the success Marvel's having, and just stupid. It's just stupid as hell to go in there and say some stuff about Endgame. And I'm guessing they saw the leaks. See, I didn't even know about the leaks. I didn't know about the leaks. I didn't know about none of that. I didn't even know it had been reported as happening. I found out afterwards, because then I went back to like the internet and saw where they were saying that there were leaks out here. Major what's the word? Reputable news sources online were reporting that this stuff existed, and it turns out it came from like a movie screening, probably of executives and people like that, private people who aren't the press. They're supposed to be just insiders who aren't supposed to let this stuff get out, and some asshole went on ahead and did it. Anyway, this person just started dropping comments about what happens, like no disclaimer, just went right into it. Like their whole comment was that happens and then it does this. You're like, what? So you don't have a chance to prepare yourself to not read. You're just reading it because you didn't expect to see anything talking about Endgame when we're talking about Deadpool. Whether what's his involvement going to be with Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I saw that, immediately kind of blocked it out. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna act like I didn't see that, because what the heck are you talking about, dog? So I left that alone. Then another thing, I was on a Yahoo page reading. I was on Yahoo, and you see articles on Yahoo, and you click them, and there actually links to some other source who does the article. And I'm trying to remember what that article was about. It was actually, it was about the TV spot. Because they dropped 2 or 3 TV spots. It's almost like they dropped such good material, like maybe some hater just felt like this is the time to screw with them. Because, I think that was yesterday, or was that Monday? But they've dropped like 2 or 3 new, like I said, whether you want to call it a TV spot or trailers. That, again, Marvel's doing a great job, where none of them was spoiler. It's like rehashed footage, but they cut it together in different ways, so still keeps getting you excited. But the one I saw that I really liked was just like a backtrack of all the 21 movies, and they shouted them all out. I mean, of course, they didn't really show any real clips from the Incredible Hulk, but they used the logo from the Incredible Hulk movie real quick, and then spliced scenes of the Avengers Hulk, because they basically went and showed how it started. Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, the whole chronology of how the movies were released since 2008. And so, like I said, they showed clips from each of those movies, but they substituted the Ed Norton and that version, the CGI Hulk, which I feel like they should have just kept that. I mean, I understand, don't show Ed Norton, but they could have showed that Hulk. I mean, we know he doesn't look exactly the same because he was all streamlined and ripped, but they could have showed him. Could have showed him fighting Abomination. It's like, it's still part of the MCU, So, so it was an article about the TV spots, so I want to read comments about those. Boom, somebody dropped some other stuff. And it's almost like that stuff was even worse, so I don't know. And then I had even a guy on Facebook today that I'm friends with. He just put in his status, I loved it when blah 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 in Endgame, when I think he may have been joking, but the crazy part is the stuff he was saying sounded like it might have actually happened. And he's probably a guy who doesn't give a crap, so he probably watched the leak footage and went on ahead and posted. So it's cool. I mean, I ain't mad at you, but basically, in the end, I don't feel like I've lost my enthusiasm to see it, but I do know I don't want to know nothing else. I didn't want to know that, but so I'm about to backtrack my way out of the internet and social media till I guess till Saturday night, because I don't want to see nothing. So my advice to y'all: don't look at comment sections. You got people you watch their videos, but don't go in the comment sections, because most people aren't going to spoil stuff in their videos. It's the comment sections where you got to work. That being said, my expectations for Endgame, and these were regardless of finding out any spoilers or anything, I feel like we're going to lose Cap, we're going to lose Iron Man, we're going to lose the Hulk. I think we're going to lose probably somebody like Rhodey, maybe. Who else? Nebula. Yeah, I think we'll lose Nebula. And, of course I expect Spider-Man, Black Panther, Wanda, Star-Lord, Drax, Groot to be brought back from the dust. The Wasp, Hank Pym, Janet Pym, Van Dyne. Hopefully, all those people. I did always have my suspicions as well that we might get some surprises, just like they surprised the hell out of us with Red Skull. My big surprise that I was thinking is I think we're gonna get Quicksilver. I mean, they signed, and again, this isn't even a spoiler because I don't know anything. This has been a theory. I'm just getting these theories out before more possible spoilers come out or more nonsense that makes me not even want to talk, is what I'm saying. Because again, I followed, and I know that when they did Age of Ultron, those two people were signed to do movies. So to me, it's just like they've had Aaron Taylor Johnson under wraps for a while, and I think he's gonna be back. And that's because I figure they're gonna go back and undo some things. I think that's a plot point that most people kind of assume they're gonna do some kind of time travel. So I think we're gonna get Quicksilver back. I also felt like, I never knew what they would do with the Hulk. So like I said, I don't know. But somehow, maybe they shoot him off to another planet again. I don't know. But I'm thinking like Tony dies. I don't know. Again, this is not spoilers, and this is not based on any spoilers I saw. I don't know what they're gonna do about Thor. They've talked about, because of the success of Ragnarok, maybe they would do a fourth Thor movie. But I think his contract is up, just like everybody else's. So we'll see. I really have no clue and no theory to offer about him. Captain America is the one I really want to. Most people feel like he's gonna go somehow. So my point with that is, I think, and I told people this, I think they're gonna have to go back in time, of course, right? Something. Long story short, I feel like somehow while they're back in time, or have this opportunity to save people, bring them back by going back in time, he is gonna find himself in a position. I don't know how they're gonna write it, but he's gonna choose to stay in the 40s, if this makes any sense, to like have the life he could have had with Peggy Carter. It may sound corny. I don't know. It's just a theory I had, because it's like they do. The other thing about all these people, I think they're gonna do something, like I said, that will leave the door open for them to be able to bring these actors back when they want to do something crossover with the X-Men after they've built them up, which will be massive. I mean, you're talking, $4 billion. You know what I mean? If you can get Avengers and X-Men, Fantastic Four, do that type of movie. So yeah, I just feel like he's gonna do something like he chooses to stay in the past. I don't know, or something like that. Which means when they come back to the present, he just, like, he's not there because I guess he ended up living a life where he died. I guess maybe he didn't even take the serum. I have no idea, but he just was able to make that commitment to meet Peggy, and they lived a life together. Maybe he passed away. I mean, I don't know if he can die anyway, but I don't know. He just somehow won't exist in a modern time because he didn't end up living to be 100 years, 105 years old or whatever he would be based on the time he was frozen, if that makes sense. That's my theory on how he exits. I feel like Tony's gonna die, I think, but you almost say, well, dang, if they kill him, that's permanent. Like, how the heck would they get him back? So I don't know. And then, like I said, I don't really know what they do with the Hulk. But those three characters, I think are going to definitively have something happen where you're not expecting to see them anymore. Thor's like up in the air for me. And then there's some supporting characters. I think, they got to die. And I think Rhodey could be one of them. I'm trying to think of who else. I don't know what they're going to do about the Vision. I mean, he may come back. And before you say, well, they got a show on coming out on Disney Plus, mind you, Loki. See, I think none of the people that died pre-snap are gonna come back to life. That means Loki. That means Gamora, Heimdall, and Vision, because they were basically all killed, not dusted. But I'm not, if any one of those does come back, I think it would be Vision, maybe, for whatever reason, because he's not totally human. I don't know. But I think Loki's dead in the MCU. I think Gamora's dead in the MCU. And I think that as far as the Disney Plus series go, I just feel like those are going to be like prequels. I'm already 100% sure Loki's is just going to be, they said it's going to be covering some, decades, I guess you want to call it, centuries of history. So I think it's just going to be like his antics, his adventures of being this mischievous, what do they call him? Not magic, but what does he do? I guess he is, yeah. God of mischief. You know what I mean? His ability to do illusions and be a trickster. I think this is gonna, because they already said it's like he's in it, and he's gonna be doing narration. Tom Hiddleston, that is. So it feels like the Wonder Years to me. I just said this to a guy on Facebook because he was saying, no, I think Loki's alive because they're doing a show. And I had to say, oh, well, yeah, you may not know more of the details about the premise. It sounds like the Wonder Years. Like he's going to narrate, and in each episode he would talk about something he did on this planet or in this realm, Midgard, and all those different places. And to me, that's a dope concept, actually. It fills in the gaps of what his life has been. And I don't feel like that's a ripoff. Some people be like, man, come on. I think that's dope, actually. Forget going and moving him forward. Let's look back at his life. I think that would be dope. And then, like I said, by him being a focal point and him doing narration, it could be some comical stuff. Because this could all be before he became this bitter person towards Thor, although you may always see a little bit of that in the show. I think that would be dope. I'm pretty 100%, in my opinion, that's what they're going to do with this show. And I think that's going to be a hit. So he can be dead currently. Secondly, I feel like with Vision and Wanda's show, same thing. I think it's going to cover the time period between Age of Ultron and then Age of Ultron, where they first make their appearance, and then Civil War, where they began to get close, and then between Civil War and Infinity War. So you got to fill in gaps of 3 different movies, and I think that's what they're going to do. It's going to be a movie about them getting closer and then falling in love with each other and maybe having some adventures. Even the time period that they talk about in Infinity War, where the two of them obviously went off and did their own thing, when we first see them in Infinity War. And that's what that's going to be for that show. So it doesn't mean that technically either one of them has to be back. But I do believe Wanda will be back. I just have my doubts about the Vision because of the way he went out. So that's my thoughts, what I'm expecting. They've done such a good job, unlike Infinity War, where we had a bunch of theories, and I remember talking a lot about who I thought was going to die and all this stuff. Yeah, they showed us, don't even try it. So I know better than to even try that this time, to really be as definitive about who I think is going to live and die. It was obviously off. I mean, totally off, really. So there's so much unknown about this movie. I do feel like Thanos will be disposed of, or at least minimized in this movie early. It looks to me like they're gonna have some kind of confrontation with him that's not gonna bode well, and they're still gonna be stuck with not having a resolution for bringing those folks or undoing what he did with the snap. And I think then there's going to be like a time passes, I think, in this movie of some years. That's why you see like Cap looks different, shaves the beard off, Black Widow's hair goes back to being red, and I think they try to live life accepting that these people aren't being brought back. Making a video.
Oh my gosh, such a geek.
Yeah, I am a geek.
Giggity,
I mean, I was just trying to kill the time, so I'm trying to make my Avengers Endgame expectation preview video before I run out of days before the movie, and before I get more spoilers. Exactly. Trying to get my thoughts out.
Did you talk about that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Sure.
No.
Oh, she don't want to be here. This isn't daddy-daughter review, so I guess she just feels like this is not her territory.
Nope.
So, yeah.
Do not drive in video.
Oh, I'm going to. It's gonna. I'm about done.
I'm about to die. No, I shouldn't say that. I'll never. Oh!
So that's what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna kind of go back and just kind of accept. Well, we just whatever that's gonna be. Whether it's like they fight Thanos and they beat him, they kill him, maybe even, and they're just like. The point is they're gonna realize there's nothing they could do as far as the stones getting them back. That's gonna change anything, and that could be because the gauntlet's all messed up. Whatever that's gonna be. So I think you're gonna have to go back to feed, and that's why some of the scenes you're seeing, like they are just so down and out, because it's probably like whatever they thought was gonna work couldn't even work. And this is when I think Scott Lang is gonna pop up. And there was one of the first trailers is where Cap and Captain America and Black Widow, they're looking at a video of him outside, they're wherever they are, and they're like, is this some old footage or what? Because they're already thinking this dude's been dusted years ago. And see, that's why that makes sense, because years are gonna have to have passed, and they're gonna be like, well, this dude was dusted. We already tried to undo it. It didn't work. So how in the world is this man outside of our building? You follow me? Guarantee that's gonna play out like that.
You trying to say it's been years now?
Yeah.
I thought we established it.
No, well, I'm saying the movie's gonna start out right after Infinity War, but something's gonna happen where early on they're gonna have some kind of battle with Thanos to try to do something to change things, and it's not gonna work. Either, like I said, they may kill him and then be like, dang, this still didn't work, or he's just like, here, take the gauntlet, you can't do nothing about it. Whatever's gonna happen, they're gonna walk away, or he may just kick their ass and it's like, dang, we still can't get it done. Point is, and because if you look at these trailers, you keep seeing Black Widow, and I've heard other people say this, use Black Widow's hair in Captain America's beard. If you follow it, something
don't
must.
Use the beard, because you can shave off a beard in 2 seconds.
No, but I'm saying. No, it's okay. I'm talking to people right now. Because I'm saying we've seen scenes back and forth where one minute he has a beard and the next minute he doesn't. Then you see another clip, like the one most recently, they're getting on a ship. Like now, it's him, it's Captain Marvel, it's Bruce Banner, it's Rocket. They're on a spaceship and he has a beard. So it's like, so if people thought they were going to wait till the end of the movie to go fight Thanos, obviously they're fighting Thanos early in the movie. See what I'm saying? They're on a spaceship while he still has a beard. So that's happening early in the movie. Then later on you see him without a beard, talking about, like the most recent ones, he's clean shaven. But the scene again where he's talking about, is that an old footage when they're looking at Ant-Man outside, he's got the beard. See what I'm saying? So maybe his is not the best example, but my point is, you look at the footage they've been showing of Black Widow, it's going all over the place. One minute she has red hair, the other minute she has blonde hair. So I think they've been showing this stuff out of order to totally throw us off, when in actuality you're going to have something where she has blonde hair and he still has his beard, and years are going to pass by, and that's why he's going to have a clean face, because he didn't shave now. It's been 3 years or something. And then when he's like in that little support group meeting or whatever, and it looks like he's in a support group tomorrow, some people move on, not us, and all that stuff. It's because it's been years, and it's like they are in the dumps because they have not been able to change anything. So that's what I think. And that's when he's going to pop up.
Being Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yes. Not the pronoun game. He pops up there but see, that doesn't even make sense, because Cap has a beard when that happens. So I don't know. It's tripped out.
Just give up.
Yeah, they did a good job of throwing us. They're like, y'all not gonna figure this stuff out. But my point is, he's gonna end up giving them the idea of going through the quantum realm to find the time vortexes to get back in time to try to undo or beat Thanos to getting the stones. And that's what a lot of the movie, I think, is going to be based on. Because early on, we knew that they were going to shoot. They were shooting, again, if you're a nerd like me and you follow all this stuff behind the scenes, they had shots of them reshooting scenes from Avengers from 2012. You know what I mean? Recreating those scenes, I mean. And that's going to be because they're going to travel back and look at some of that. The scene in one of the most recent trailers where Captain America's talking to Tony and he's like, do you trust me? And they shake hands or whatever. First of all, I don't know if that's them shaking hands. They could have cut that. That could be anybody shaking hands. But when he's talking to him, I think that's like a current Tony talking to Captain America. Like he's going to pop up in that same scene from the Avengers from 2012. And he's going to be trying to explain to Captain America that you need to do this.
Everything goes to crap.
Right. And he's going
Warning.
He's going to be trying to tell him, because Tony looks totally different. Like his hair looks gray almost in that scene. And and again, they use CGI because Captain America's suit looks like what will be from Infinity War. But I think when that scene happens in the movie, he's going to be wearing that blue corny outfit. At least I found it corny. A lot of people do. From the Avengers first movie. He's going to be wearing that because it's going to be that moment in the Battle of New York, and it's going to be like a future Tony telling him, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. And that's why he's saying, do you trust me? And he's going to say, I do. You see what I'm saying? So, because it's going to literally be a question of trust for Captain America in 2012 to be listening to a Tony Stark from 2019, if that makes any sense. I promise you, I done at least figured that part out. That's gonna happen.
Watch it. That's happen. Don't bet many. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that gives you an idea of what I expect anyway. A lot of jumping around in time, and it's gonna be trippy. I remember Chris Hemsworth about a year ago had said that this movie is just gonna blow your mind. He said it's gonna, like, as far as the Infinity War, like, this movie's so crazy in comparison to Infinity War, you just can't even imagine. And I think that's what he's talking about. They're going to be playing with, going back in time, character. Plus, there's been rumors that there are other villains, like some other villain is going to be introduced that ain't even Thanos. And I believe that.
Yo, I ain't cool with that.
I believe that. I believe that because I think Thanos did what Thanos done. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think our expectations is just to see him. But I don't think they're going to do a whole second movie where it's just about them defeating him. You know what I mean?
That movie can't be 3 hours and 2 minutes with just him, homie. I'm saying.
Exactly. So I think that's what I'm saying. I think he's going to be dead, or he's going to be done with.
Dead. I wish he was dead.
Somewhat early. Not, like more than before you even get halfway through the movie. In the first hour and a half. And that's why it's going to be so devastating that it still doesn't change anything. And then the rest of the movie is going to be about the fact that the Avengers themselves have to do what they got to do. And that's why you keep hearing them talking about no do-overs and, whatever it takes and the stuff you hear in Captain America. Because it's almost like they're going to say, we couldn't get this done by defeating Thanos, by having Thanos help, anything, So it's up to us to figure it out. And that makes more sense. Like these movies have always been about the heroes and their journey. So that's basically what I'm expecting for that movie. I think it's going to be ridiculous. I think it's going to be even more emotionally draining and mind-blowing than Infinity War. And even though I read some things, I should say, that I didn't want even in my head at all, I always go back to coming across, I've talked about this a couple times, and I don't know if I said it in a video. Actually, I did. I hinted at it when we were doing our preview for Infinity War, that I came across something. And yeah, that, just for y'all, this can't be a spoiler because you better have seen Infinity War. My point is, I ran across somebody say, hey, Gamora dies, before I saw the movie. And even though I just said, because they named a bunch of people, and some of those people didn't die. So they were talking about Gamora dies, and they said War Machine dies, and they were naming a bunch of people. So, I want to even say they said that Hulk dies or something, So I was just like, it was a bunch of names. So I was able to kind of dismiss it, because I'm like, well, this doesn't sound like somebody who was just talking out the side of their neck. But the problem was, when Gamora did die, it didn't have the same effect, because, it was just like, oh, shoot, well, maybe that one was just coincidental that this troll person said that. It still happened.
I'm sick of internet trolls.
And that's how I feel about the stuff that I did read that some of it probably is true, and even if they're not 100% on target, if anything close to that happens, it's taken away some of what it would have been if I didn't know it all. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't want to really. I mean, they did such a good job with not, like I said, not hinting or not showing anything related to Hulk. I really was like, wow, this is gonna be cool, because I get to walk into this movie not knowing anything about what's going on with my man right here, the Hulk, and I was happy about that.
Is that your Amazon shirt?
No, I bought this from Target a while ago, like months ago. Yeah, I was looking forward to not knowing anything. But like I said, now this little piece of information might be true, might not be true. I didn't want to. Because I think about with Infinity War, you know, they did a good job. Nobody predicted this dude was going to come out in the first 10 minutes, fight Thanos, and then we weren't going to see him in full action again. Nobody knew that. And even though that made me kind of mad, I still got to give Marvel their props for always being able to be a step ahead of us. And I expect the same thing with this one. But it also proves he's got to be having a bigger part in this movie, because that's why they really don't want to even mention him. It's like they're trying to distract us by keep showing Bruce Banner, because we're not going to let you know anything that the Hulk's doing.
He's going to turn into World Breaker.
People said that. World Breaker Hulk or Professor Hulk.
Can he please come out like...
Professor Hulk. It may be a combination.
I have an extreme...
It's almost like the Professor Hulk is probably... almost, they already kind of hinted at that, because Bruce was saying we gotta work some things out, and it's like this battling of their personalities is gonna have to come together for them to.
And Professor Hulk is literally both of them. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not super familiar with comics to have an opinion whether I want to see Professor Hulk. I just want to see him just destroy some crap, because I want to see the way. Then you want to see World Breaker Hulk. Yeah, I guess so.
Hulk
right.
Literally has destroyed it.
Because it's almost like, my point is, the way I felt about him in the first Avengers movie, which was, who could have expected him to steal the show like that? I want that moment again. The moment of him punching that Goliath, Leviathan looking thing is still one of the biggest mark-out moments. It's in the top 5 mark-out moments of the entire MCU for me. Because who expected him to do that? I mean, he changed in motion. Said he was always angry and just said, yeah, I'm changing right now in mid-punch. I mean, it was sick. And even if you're mad about, because that's never really, from my understanding, been the way Banner can change, I didn't have a problem with them doing that.
Ditto.
You know, that'll shut you up. So you can do stuff that I want you to do as long as you do it well. So I want something like that can make me feel that good about him again. You know, because we really haven't had that in any of the movies.
We're
honestly,
going through a
in my
breakup
opinion.
with him right now.
As much as I like Ragnarok, I mean, he didn't have a moment that was just like, oh, ish, you know what I mean? There wasn't no mark-out moment in Ragnarok, you know? He just looked dope to me, and I liked the fact he was talking. I thought that was cool. So, anyway. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the movie. It doesn't mean I won't make another video between now and then, because, you know, that's how I roll. It depends on what kind of time I have.
10 days.
Yep.
Dad.
I'm working on a lot of trying to get some music out, and you know, I have other things so that have kept me from making videos.
Like a child.
But well, you're pretty easy to handle now, kind of.
Hey.
For the moment.
Hey.
What else was I gonna say though? Regarding dang it, we was talking about.
Don't leave any spoiler comments on this video, or I will fight.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, good point.
Fight you.
Wow. Man, I just thought about that, and I'm not sad. I'm gonna have to look into how can I disable comments. That probably is what I'll do.
You can disable comments real easy.
Yeah, I know. So that's probably what I have to do. Because yeah, it'll be somebody just to spite me and saying this stuff. It's a great point, daughter. Yeah. I don't know.
You sure?
That's just what I expect. I expect them to be some time travel and oh yeah. That's what I was saying. There is rumors that there's going to be another villain or threat, and I do think that's going to happen. Now, is it a major one? I don't know, because I just don't feel like a 3-hour movie can be just about Thanos, and I also don't know that a 3-hour movie can have that much about them just trying to go through the quantum realm. I mean, but maybe it will. I mean, because if there's anybody who could pull it off, it's Marvel Studios. That's all I can say. In terms of giving you what you wouldn't expect. And again, what do we expect? We don't even have expectations. So how can they go wrong? Whatever they give us is probably going to be dope anyway, because they didn't promise us anything that we can say, hey, y'all said y'all were going to do blah, 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 you know? Yep. So now that it's been 40 minutes, I think that's pretty much long enough. Like I said, oh yeah, I got a it's on an SD card, and I got a 16 gig, so I got all kind of room on this thing now. But yeah, I will have a video coming. I guess maybe I'll wait till Endgame, because I got a video, like I said, I've been wanting to do what's called the state of the MCU, and then I'm gonna do one, the state of the DC movie universe. So once I see Shazam, which should be soon, probably this weekend, I'll probably do that DC video, just to even take a break from Marvel. And then maybe I'll do one before Endgame, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'll probably just do it after Endgame, because then I'll have even more definitive things. Yeah, you know, it'll make more sense to talk about where it is the future of the MC. Well, actually, yeah, that would be the future. It'll still be the current state. It'll be the current state along with predicting some future things, which will be a little more clear after Endgame. Let's just put it like that. It's almost like, why talk about the current state of the MCU when we know it's all going to get disrupted in 10 days? Let's put it like that. Well, less than 10. 10 for me, seeing it. But yeah, what, 8 days it's going to be disrupted. So yeah, forget the current state of the MCU.
The world is exploding in 9 days.
They say it's going to change. They say
the
that
world is exploding in 9 days. Oh no.
They say that the MCU will be changed. Kevin Feige once said, he's like, after Endgame, you're going to look at it, it's still going to be pre-Endgame MCU and post. Like, it's going to be the moment that everything shifts. Which, like I said, I already have ideas on that. But let me just wait. I'll just quickly say, I do think that phase 4 going on, they're going to have like a split where they're going to, and this isn't like totally my thinking, this is what I have read, stuff that hinted at this, and it makes sense to me, so that's why I'm making it my opinion now, that they're going to have like a split. It's going to be like a lot of cosmic stuff on one end, and then a lot of street level stuff on the other end. And this is an example. You got Spider-Man. He's going to be street level. I mean, he's in New York. He's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Don't expect him to be in outer space. They've already talked about they're doing a Eternals movie, which is going to be very cosmic. You do have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 props to bringing back James Gunn. Heck yeah.
Which, I don't know why it took so long to do that in the first.
So they're going to get a Guardians 3. So that's cosmic. But that's going to end that franchise anyway. But I think they're going to use that to kick off something else in the cosmic realm. Also, keep in mind, they've got the Fox property. So that means they got Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four deals with a lot of cosmic stuff. And Silver Surfer is part of like Fantastic Four's line of characters. He's completely cosmic, as well as Galactus. So those are going to be the cosmic end, and then they're going to have Spider-Man, they'll have Black Panther taking place on Earth. I mean, Captain Marvel is probably going to be like one that can split between the two. What else is going to be like Earth-based? Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange is on Earth, but then he's in a different, he's dimensional. That's not cosmic, but interdimensional. And the Ant-Man is a street level. If he, they do a third movie with him and the Wasp. So you got characters you can see are going to be on, on Earth. Not to mention, if they go this route, which will be dope. Remember, we've had the Netflix shows canceled, but those characters, it's not like they got to worry about rights. It's not like Fox owned or Netflix owned these characters. They've been had the rights to Daredevil and Luke Cage, and that's why they were able to say we're going to lease them to Netflix to do TV shows. So that means Marvel can bring Daredevil and put him in the MCU and make Daredevil movies now that he done proved himself on the TV Netflix. That may have been their plan, not going to say plan all along, but, that may have been what they were thinking partially, was put him in a TV show and see how successful that can be, and then maybe we'll go back to movies. You see what I'm saying? So I would love to see a Daredevil movie now that we have an actor that's so dope in portraying him, in a look and everything. Everything is there. Just put that crap on the big screen. Make it PG-13 or whatever, or make it R, because you have Fox. You release it under Fox the same way you're going to do what's his name, Deadpool, but he can cross over into the MCU. I don't see Daredevil crossing over to the MCU, but Deadpool. So yeah, so you could have that as street characters. You could do a Luke Cage movie. You can do Jessica Jones movie, Iron Fist. Oh, there's this movie coming out next year, it's in development. Shang-Chi, yeah. So he's a martial artist, Asian character. Never heard of him. But see what I'm saying? So it's like you see where they're doing like street level heroes, and then they're doing cosmic. And I think that's what it's gonna be. You're gonna have like, it's not gonna be the same way that you saw how connected Iron Man, Captain America, and the Hulk are, and all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Where you got Falcon, and everybody's really just humans and superhumans. Oh, and there's a Black Widow movie coming out next year. So she's, Earthbound. I think it's going to be like, you're not going to see as much crossover in those individual movies, because half of them are going to be put out on Earth and half of them will be in space. But what they're going to do is constantly build up to some way to make an event where I keep forgetting about that, and I keep going this way. Where they can bring, I know, but I don't, that's a pain in the ass to go all the way around, but I have no choice. I don't even want to do that. Yeah, where they're going to have an event where then it'll be like Avengers 5 or whatever they do to cross over cosmic and ground level heroes. So that's what I think they're going to do going forward. And there you go. Oh, and then the X-Men. When they do get around to the X-Men, I think they can be a combination of cosmic and grounded stories. So it's gonna be. I mean, it's like you could say, well, that's what they were doing anyway. But like I said, not really though, because other than even really Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody was pretty much Earthbound. Even Thor. I mean, yes, Thor was in Asgard, but he's a protector of Earth. So
and Asgard blew them.
So he was. Yeah, it's like he's very connected to Earth, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy was not at all. So I just think you're gonna have more franchises like Guardians of the Galaxy that ain't got nothing to do with Earth, and it's no connection to Earth. And then Captain Marvel, like I said, was half and half. But I think her future movies are probably gonna be more of her being in cosmic realm, than her being on Earth.
Blue.
So there you go. Now we're oh man, I guess I'm dropping off at school. You don't need to stop at home for nothing, or do you? Because you have time. Yeah, you got time. All right, so that's all I got for now. Look at the doggy. That's an old dog too. You can tell by he's walking. Soul of a Nerd, signing out. Until next time.